They were doing
you are the last cog of the quartet. First and foremost, congratulations.
Thank you.
By basically doing something that personally I wouldn't do. Black people in ice, a different story, but here you are. Nigeria going to, first and foremost, the Winter Olympics. It's something unheard of in Africa. I know South Africa's been there once or twice. You guys, you're making history, as Ellen just said there.
Yeah, it's awesome. And that's exactly why I wanted to be part of it, to make history. It's never been done before. And I think it's really awesome to be able to break barriers in sport. So
let's start exactly right there with the goals. What is going through your minds? What is going through your heads? Athletes, we've seen you run, we've seen most of the goals. In fact, yourself as well, former athletes as well. All four of you I've seen in competitions in previous years. I've never really got into thinking, especially with yourself, having retired, I think, how many years? 9 years out of the sport?
Yeah, it had been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a while. So you come back. What is going through your guys' heads? What made you make this move?
So for me, it was all about kind of that inspiration. I thought it was super cool. I learned about the bobsled team last year, and I was like, wow, I really would love to be a part of that. I think it's awesome to be able to kind of leave a legacy and do something that nobody's ever been doing before. So I thought, why not join the team and see what I could do as part of that?
Yeah, for the sake of our viewers, bobsled. And skeleton. Just give us, I know my director is currently trying to put some pictures on air for the sake of our viewers to see. Bobsled and skeleton, what is it for the sake of our viewers? Yeah,
so bobsled is a two-man sport, or two women in this case. So there's a driver and then there's somebody called a brakeman that goes behind them and kind of powers the bobsled. Skeleton is just a single athlete sport. So you're on a sled, you're lying down face first. And you're going down an ice track that's about 1.5 kilometers. And you are going down at about 120 miles per hour, and your face is about this close to the ice. And so it's definitely a sport where you have to be quite brave.
And the question then is, again, I'm not sure. I mean, why?
Why? I mean, it's a great question, right? I think for me, it was really looking at this great opportunity. It's really special. I want to be an Olympian, and also I want to serve my country using the talents that I have. I've transferred a lot of my skills from track and field and been able to quickly learn in this new sport, and I think it's a great way to serve my country. I
mean, you hear, for example, I know you're based in South Africa, so you're juggling all these opportunities. You've been globe-trotting, so to speak. Done, I think, 4 races so far to qualify. You still have 1 more. So it's not done yet, but we expect to see that.
I expect to be there. So I just have 1 more, like you said. I'm really excited about it, and it just feels so good to be so close to history.
Yeah, it's 9 weeks, in fact, and 9 weeks, 1 day and a couple of hours to go to that.
You're counting down.
I have been, because I mean, when the story landed on my desk, I sat and called my editor, and she's like, oh, you know, so it is a bit of fascination on our side. The support, I'm not going to say in Nigeria alone, the support on the continent, because it's almost like the Jamaican bobsled team back in the, back when we first saw the movie. It was our thing, you know, every person kind of, you know, made sense. You kind of felt, you knew that person. Has the support been the same for you?
Yeah, I mean, the energy in the sport, the energy that we're bringing to the sport, and the support that we're getting, I think is amazing. All over social media, people are like cheering us on, encouraging us, and it really feels good.
And so it's an expensive sport, is it? Because that's the other question. I mean, how tough is it to get into that?
It's not an easy sport to access. It's quite costly. First of all, there's no tracks in Africa. So from that standpoint, it's very difficult. You have to travel to places like Canada, Europe, the US to even get on the track. So yeah, we've found a way to fund it through the support of people, great companies and sponsors like Nike, and places like that help us get it done. Yeah,
I mean, your journey began, in fact, a couple of months ago, August 4, to qualify for South Korea. Overall, I'm not going to say is it easy because you're still on it. And just listening to some of the girls when they speak and some of the interviews that you guys have been doing, you're still learning in the process. And does it make it even tougher?
It does, because when I started this sport, I was told you need 8 years to be good. And I said, well, I don't have 8 years. Actually, February's coming like now. So I've done this in about 8 weeks. I'm still learning every day. Every day I learn something new and I develop in a new way. So for me, it's just about getting better every day, and I'm excited to represent.
What have you found that has been most difficult whilst in your learning curve, so to speak?
I think it's driving down the course. You know, your body has never experienced what you experience doing the sport of skeleton. Nobody would ever imagine going down that ice track so fast with your face first. You're going down, bumping along the way. That has been a difficult transition, but the more you do it, the more relaxed you get, the more fun you actually start having, and I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, because I'm sure the fear factor, I mean, you mentioned the speeds that you go down those tracks, and the fear factor is there, but it's once you get over those, then everything else doesn't really matter. But then I saw a little bump on your chin on one of your pictures as well, so the accidents come with it.
Oh, accidents, crashes, everything. But you're not kind of a real skeleton athlete until you experience some of those things, because those actually help you learn. You learn when you make mistakes and you figure out what not to do, because it hurts.
What's the reality of, I mean, I'm sure right now you say yours is just to make the Olympic Games, but the reality is being a woman, first and foremost, being an African woman, taking the sport to the continent. That is probably the biggest goal. From where I'm sitting, I'm saying that's what our kids should be looking up to.
Exactly. I mean, definitely when I get to the Olympics, I'm going to represent the best that I can. But for me, it's really about the significance of this whole journey, kind of how it inspires the future generation of African athletes to really dream big. Nothing is impossible. So go out there and get it, even if you don't have ice in your backyard.
No, look, me and ice, I'm not quite sure. You know, but that's a different story.
Yep.
I was thinking about it whilst prepping for you, and then I said, the Russia thing came up yesterday. As an athlete, what is your thought? I had to ask you that. I mean, again, as an athlete, you want to compete with the best of the best.
Yeah.
What is your take on that?
Hey, it's tough. Obviously, as an athlete, we all want to play on a fair playing field. And each athlete has to make that decision on their own and to make sure that they're doing the sport with integrity. Yeah. And so for us, we just make sure that that's what we're doing. So.
Because I was sitting there and I was thinking to myself, banning the whole country, what about Simi, who's done nothing? She's done her best, she's prepped her best, and all of a sudden the whole country's banned. It's double-edged sword, so to speak, because you're punishing everyone for the sake of a handful. Maybe some of the athletes, your thoughts, how would you feel having to represent or run or bobsleigh under neutral flag?
Yeah, it'd be tough. I'm glad I get to represent Nigeria and I don't have to worry about that. And we're making history doing it. But yeah, it's probably
getting
tough.
calls from Nigeria?
Am I getting calls from Nigeria? Yeah, phone is blowing up. Phone is blowing up. Social media is blowing up. People have really been invested in this journey. So I'm happy about that.
And the goals, obviously, they have, well, I'm sure they've been giving you tips as well. Does it work closely with each other? Being in the bigger, what is it called?
The bobsled, the sled, bigger sled versus smaller sled. There's similarities, but there's differences. But I think we all experience the same things in terms of it's a sport where, you know, not everybody has experience going down. So you can talk about how did it feel when you were in this corner and when you crashed or when you did this, and they get it. So
I'll tell you what, Simi, you guys are just going to be turning up there. I can see it already. You guys are just going to be blowing it up.
We're going to tear it up, okay?
Next qualifier, it's next year in the US, I think, early Jan.
Correct.
Yeah,
January
give us
11th.
a rundown about that.
January 11th, I have my next race. It's in Lake Placid, New York. Yeah. And that's race number 5, and that's really what I need to seal my ticket.
Then the qualifiers proper announced, you said?
The 14th through the 16th. That's when the International Federation announces.
Yeah, we'll definitely be looking out for you in that one. Wishing the best of luck, Simi.
Thank you so much.
And hopefully when you are in there, hopefully we get a team there. I'm not quite sure the boss will send us there.
No, no worries. And people can follow along our journey. Yeah. Simi Slays is my Instagram handle. Yeah. And then also BSFN Nigeria. Yeah, no problem. We'll definitely do that. I know that our online, the digital platform will flight this interview and put all those details on there as well. Awesome. Simi speaking to us from our SABC studio. She's going through to New York for a 5th and final qualification run, and hopefully there she makes it to the Winter Olympics next year.